Welcome in my secondary kingdom. Today I'll be replacing the ball bearings in my wheels. So stick around. So guys, I'm in my secondary garage in Poland where I arrived just yesterday. And I have a job to do on the Versys, the ball bearings. 3 days ago I decided I'm gonna change the tires. My tires were completely gone after 2 trips to England and to Norway. And why they were so quickly gone, as you can find in my other video about the Roadtech O2 tires. Anyways, when I was changing the tires and I removed the rear wheel, I discovered a complete disaster. The ball bearing in the sprocket hub was absolutely gone. Houston, we have a problem. So that is definitely not good. Yeah, the ball bearing is completely gone. Ladies and gents, I was just starting to preparing the bike for the tire change and I discovered this. And this is the ball bearing from this sprocket hub. That's a bit of a disaster. Because today is Thursday evening and I was planning to load my bike on the trailer and go to Poland on Sunday. I really doubt that I can find parts tomorrow. And I'm sure you're gonna say now, yeah, Andy, why didn't you check that? Well, I did. When I was changing the tires 8,000 kilometers ago, I checked all the bearings and it didn't seem anything wrong with them. The wheels were drying nicely and quiet. I was checking with my fingers if there are any signs of broken bearings and everything was okay. And I greased up everything. Everything was theoretically okay, but at the end, yeah, it wasn't. So, or I missed something or something happened to the bearing very quickly. I don't know. So I decided I'm not gonna change only the ball bearing in a sprocket hub. I'm gonna change them all just to have everything nice and new, because all the other bearings, they don't give any signs that they're not okay. So just to be sure and sleep peacefully, I'm gonna change all of them. But this time I'm gonna do it everything a bit differently. So I won't be ordering original ball bearings and oil seals in Kawasaki dealership because they are quite expensive. I am in Poland and I can manage that much cheaper. And much cheaper doesn't necessarily means less quality. All the ball bearings here are Japanese ball bearings and I can buy them here as well, and I can buy them much cheaper because, you know, Kawasaki is not making ball bearings. They're buying ball bearings for the ball bearings manufacturer somewhere in Japan. So mostly the price is double what you can buy directly from the manufacturer or from the shop. And I already checked the prices a bit and I can assure you the difference is massive in price. But on the end of the video I'm gonna put all the numbers from the ball bearings and I will show you the difference in the prices. I already checked the part catalog on the Kawasaki website and theoretically I know the numbers from the ball bearings and oil seals, but they can vary. Different manufacturers can have a bit different numbers on the ball bearings. So just to be sure, I'm gonna remove the wheels and I will check the numbers again from the oil seals and from the ball bearings. Because the rear sprocket hub bearing was absolutely in pieces. So I have removed the pieces, the rest of the ball bearing. So this is the outside run, drive, how you call it. An inside drive I used to put my bike together because I had to ride my bike onto the trailer, so I had to assemble the wheel. So there is no ball bearing at the moment inside, but the wheel can freely turn, so that was exactly what I needed. Anyways, this is the oil seal. It's completely broken, pieces are gone. And I have a number here, so with this number I can order it. If not, I can always measure it, and with these measurements I can order a new one, buy a new one, because I don't have to order it. There is few shops here in the city where they have it, everything in stock, and you can just pick it up. Theoretically, I know the number from this ball bearing, but I'm gonna take it with me just to be sure and just to check the sizes of the new ball bearing. So that's it, and I'm gonna remove the oil seal on the other side. There are numbers as well, and underneath there is another ball bearing with the numbers as well. And of course I'm gonna do exactly the same thing on the front wheel. Theoretically on the front there are two the same oil seals and two the same ball bearings, so that's a bit easier. But of course I want to check it first, the numbers, just to be sure. Okay, without further ado, let's get to work. So the wheel is completely loose here. It's just to support the weight of the bike, so the bike doesn't fall when I remove the rear wheel. So as you can see, this is the rest of the ball bearing, and inside is of course empty. I'm gonna remove the hub, and in here I have another ball bearing, and there is a number on it, 6304L. I believe. There is no seal in here. The seal is on the other side. So I will need to remove this one as well. Here we go. And that's the seal. And let's check the ball bearing. And the ball bearing is 6304 LU, so the same as the other one, so we need two of those. Now there is no number on this oil seal, but in the Kawasaki catalog parts there are sizes of this simmering. So I know the precise sizes, but I'm gonna take this seal with me anyways. So the front wheel is dismantled, and here we have our oil seal. And on this oil seal there are written some numbers. Here is the number, I cannot see it from here, but the numbers from the ball bearings, which by the way doesn't seem to be broken, but I'm going to change them anyways. The numbers of the ball bearings are written on the cover of ball bearing, which is underneath. So I will note all the numbers and I will give you them on the end of this video, so you will have a bit easier. Here we go, no problemos at all. And here is the number of the seal. I will take this seal as well with me. And here we have ball bearing 5005, I believe, or 6. I'm gonna make a picture just to be sure. Okay, so the number is 6005LU. Both of these ball bearings from this side and the other side, and the seals are the same. So right now I'm gonna check all the sizes and parts number from the catalog with reality if that is correct. I'm gonna take three simmerings with me, an old broken bearing, and I will go to find new ball bearings and oil seals, and then we're gonna replace them. So wish me luck. So ladies and gents, I have all my parts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearings and 1, 2, 3, 4 oil seals. I bought them in a regular ball bearing shop, so not by the dealer. And the price and the difference, you will be shocked. And then I will show you exactly how much more Kawasaki dealer is charging you for parts that are available in just a regular store. But for now, let's get into the replacing the ball bearings and the oil seals. So of course, at the beginning I need to remove all the oil seals and the ball bearings. Oil seal already removed it. Removing the ball bearings is not very simple, and that's because inside between the ball bearings is the collar, a kind of very long spacer. I will try to show you. It's this thing over there. So I need to remove one of the ball bearings just with a hammer and some piece of thing. Now you can see now that the ball bearing went a little bit more outside, and this collar is moving even more. It's very loose now. So let's smash that a few more times. Here we go. Now I will have to go there. Anyways, as you can see, my ball bearing is gone. Here we go. The easiest way to do it is by press, but I don't have a press, so. But as you can see, the ball bearings are removed. And so these are the old ball bearings, and between them there is this, I think that's aluminium collar, this long bushing, and this bushing is sitting between those two ball bearings. By the way, they're not very bad. I guess they should work some longer, but you know, 46,000 kilometers, that's long enough. So I'm just gonna replace them. But I'm not gonna throw them away, because I will use them to install a new ball bearings. So now I'm gonna do exactly the same with the front wheel. Just remember, front wheel has 2 brake discs both sides, and they stick out of the wheel. So it is important that you do not lay the wheel on the brake disc. You're gonna bend them for sure. So I am just removed 2 pieces of wood from my floor, and this way the wheel is supported by the wooden pieces, and the rest is hanging in the air. And in front wheel as well is the same story with the collar, with this long bushing between the ball bearings. Here we go. My ball bearing and the collar, the long bushing is now in there, so I have to pick it up again. And now I have to remove this ball bearing, and I'm gonna do that exactly the same way. Here we go. Here we go, nice and clean. So I will start with replacing the ball bearing in the sprocket hub. Inside here we have this metal ring. You need these funny things to remove it. It's very spring loaded, so you need to be careful not to shoot this thing in your eyes. It's this kind of ring with 2 holes, which are exactly for this tool. So the easiest way to do it, it would be by using a press. So you just insert the ball bearing, and on a press you just push this ball bearing inside. Well, I don't have the press, so I will show you another easy way to insert the ball bearings. So for this job I will need a thread, about 40 centimeters thread. I have 12 millimeter. You will need a few nuts and several different sizes washers and plates. First what I do, I'll do 1 nut on the bottom, then I take the washer and I check if that is correct size. It must be just a little bit smaller than the outside ring of the ball bearing. So the idea is that the washer cannot push on inside part of the ball bearing, but on this outside ring of the ball bearing. And the best if the washer is pretty thick, so it won't bend to inside and push the inner ring of the ball bearing, because this way we're gonna damage the ball bearing and we don't want to do that. I have as well these strange washers which I can use. They fit perfectly as well. So I'm just gonna use the one that fits the best. And now I need to do 1 washer here. I set my hub on it. So as you can see on this side, the washer is keeping my thread. And now I'm gonna do the ball bearing, and then I will do another washer and another nut. And by slow fastening the nuts, I will press the ball bearing inside the hub. I'm gonna do one more thing just to be sure that I won't damage the new bearing. I'm gonna use the old ring from the old bearing first. But before I start doing this, I need to insert the ball bearing a little bit in a place, about 1 maybe 2 millimeters, and then the rest I will push it with thread and the nuts and all the washers. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the old ring from the old ball bearing. I'm gonna use this lovely thing, and I'm gonna use a hammer. Of course, theoretically I can press this ball bearing only this way with a hammer. It's going to work as well, but there is more chance to damage the ball bearing, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to play a little bit with thread and nuts. Okay, so the ball bearing is inserted just a few millimeters. And now the rest I will do this way. And now I will just turn And this way my ball bearing is going very nicely inside. Look at that, I'm almost there. So now I have to remove this old ring from the ball bearing, and I used 2 of my washers. It's just important that they are exactly in the middle, so that they're pushing only the outside ring of the ball bearing, not inside, because this way I would very quickly damage the ball bearing. Here we go. Okay, let's check. I told you that you need about 40 centimeters thread for that, but that's the size for the rear wheel. For this you can cut another shorter piece of thread. It will do the job as well. And my ball bearing is inside, nicely pressed, not damaged. Now next job to do is this ring. It has to go back. Here we go. And of course the last job is the oil seal, which goes here. And for this job it's a good idea to use some grease. And I will apply a little bit of grease inside of the seal there. A little bit on the seal, so it goes easier into the place. I'm gonna use some grease here as well. Theoretically it's not necessary, but grease will always stop the moist from coming in. So let's just have it. And now I need to gently insert the seal. Now I can do it exactly as I did with ball bearing, but that's not necessary. I just have this aluminium ring. I can feel with my fingers. The seal is sitting about 0.5 millimeter, 1 millimeter deeper. So let's try if my bushing fits this seal. Just gonna put some grease. Let's see. Yeah, it fits perfectly. Now this rubber lip, which is inside the seal, works on this bushing. And as you can see, because the old bearing was damaged, this bushing has a little bit of dirt and all the rubber and everything on it. So it's not perfectly smooth. And if I leave it like that, it's gonna damage my new seal. So there is 2 things I can do. I can buy a new one, which is not really necessary. I can polish it, and to do that I will use very fine sanding paper, a 1000 grit or 15,000 grit. It's a sanding paper used for purposes of spray paint job. They're using that on the cars to polish the cars. So this will give me very nice and shiny surface. So I'm gonna do it later. For now, let's install the rest of the bearings. This one is done. So now I'm gonna insert the ball bearings in the rear wheel. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter which side I will start. But important is that I don't forget this inside bushing. It needs to be between 2 ball bearings. Of course, I will start with inserting the ball bearing and pushing with the hammer just a little bit. And of course I'm gonna use for that my old ball bearing. As I said, it is possible to insert ball bearing like that with a hammer, but it's just risky. Okay, I inserted just a few millimeters, and now I'm gonna use my tool So as you can see, my new ball bearing is nicely pressed into the wheel. Now I need to do the other side. But of course I cannot forget my bushing, because he needs to be between ball bearings. All what is left to do is to insert the oil seal. So let's do that. It should go very easily with your hands. And of course now I have to do exactly the same thing with the front wheel. And here we go, one bearing is in. Of course I cannot forget the bushing. Sitting very nicely. So guys, the original oil seal, or as we call it here, cemering, is 5 millimeters thick. But I couldn't find 5 millimeters, they gave me 6 millimeters. And I was afraid that maybe it's gonna be too thick, but I have here 8 millimeters space, so even with bigger seal it should still be 2 millimeters deeper. As you can see, without any problems the seal goes inside. Now I have to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I have these two bushings which go inside the seal, and they have as well some minor signs of usage. They're not 100% smooth, so I'm gonna fix them with the very fine sandpaper as the other ones. But for now I'm just gonna insert them, and I'll install the wheel and we'll see if this seal is not too thick. But I don't think it is, because as you can see the bushings are longer than this. They're sticking out. So I don't think this 1 millimeter thicker seal is a problem. Okay, let's install temporarily the wheel and we'll see. So guys, I can already tell you there is no problem with this 1 millimeter thicker seals, because as you can see they're much deeper. There's still a lot of space between shock and the wheel. So 1 millimeter thicker seal, probably 2 millimeters won't be a big difference as well. But let's stay as close as possible to original. So all the ball bearings are replaced. Now my job is to clean a little bit these bushings for the wheels. As I mentioned earlier, the best way is to replace them for the new ones, but I don't think it's needed yet. They still have quite good surface, flat surface. There is no holes or anything else, but there is some dirt and things that were rubbed with the time, and I can feel underneath my finger that the surface is not very smooth. It's not about filing, it's just cleaning the surface. That's it. I don't need to do much. I just need to make it nice and smooth again. And honestly, with 1500 grit, you won't be filing a lot. You just be removing the dirt. So, and I'm done. And as you can see, all the bushings are very nice and shiny. Just remember, this is not about filing them, it's about cleaning and polishing them. This surface must be smooth like a baby's ass. Otherwise it will damage your oil seals very quickly. Okay, everything is done. Let's install the wheels on the bike and I will tell you everything about parts and the prices. So I'll do all the mathematics according to Kawasaki and according to regular shop. So let's do that. So ladies and gents, let's play now the game of money. I show you how much more your Kawasaki dealer is charging you for the parts for your Kawasaki Versys. And believe me, you will be shocked. I'm still shocked and I still can't believe that there is such a big difference. But without further ado, I have all the notes, I have all the prices, and I will explain everything. But before I do that, I just want to make one thing clear. All the parts, all the ball bearings I bought are very high quality. These are actually the most expensive Japanese ball bearings, Koyo ball bearings. I could buy Chinese for 20% of price of those. I chose the best. So I still have the same quality because original are made in Japan. So I have the same quality. It's not that I bought shit and that's why it's cheaper. No, it's the highest quality. And all the seals, oil seals, are from the German company which is called Freudenberg. These are very high quality oil seals and they are the same spec as original ones. There's only small difference with the ones for the front. The original front seals are 5 millimeters thick. I couldn't find 5, I bought 6 millimeters thick. But that's the top quality seals. So I'm not cheating here by buying cheap Chinese shit or something. So I will start with the front wheel. In the front wheel we have two ball bearings. They're exactly the same, both the same size. And there are as well two seals which are exactly the same size. And now by Kawasaki dealer, one of those ball bearings according to the catalog prices for the Netherlands. In other countries can be small difference in the price. But prices Netherlands, this one ball bearing cost €29.09. Of course you need 2 of those, so that gives us €58.18. I bought 2 ball bearings in a specialized ball bearing shop here in Poland. But of course it doesn't mean that you have to come to Poland to buy these ball bearings. You can buy them anywhere, in any country. I'm sure in almost every country there is a shop which is specialized in selling ball bearings and seals. Or you can order it online. I'm sure you can find it. Anyways, Japanese ball bearings. This ball bearing cost €5.86. Of course you need 2 of those. So I paid in total €11.73. That means that the Kawasaki dealer charge you for these 2 ball bearings €46.45 more. And that's just the beginning. Now let's jump to the oil seals. So these are the 2 oil seals, original. And one of those cost €10.64. Of course you need 2 of those, so that gives us €21.28. I bought the German ones, which are very good quality. So this seals in a specialized ball bearing shop here in Poland cost €3.52 per piece. Of course you need 2, so that's €7.04. Which means that the Kawasaki dealer charge you €14.25 more for the original oil seals. That was the front wheel. Let's jump to the rear wheel. So in the rear wheel it's going to be a bit more interesting because there is more parts. So we have 2 ball bearings which are sitting in the rim. And there is another one which was completely broken, so I have only parts of it. It's sitting in a chain sprocket hub. So we have 3 ball bearings and we have 2 seals. And one of those seals is a bit complicated because it's very wide. And I had a bit troubles finding this one, but I have it. But let me tell you everything about the prices. So the ball bearings for the sprocket hub. So this ball bearing costs by the dealer, according to the catalog, €30.95. I bought again Koyo Japanese high quality ball bearings and I paid for it €6.57. So that means that for original Kawasaki, your dealer is charging you €24.38 more. Now we have in a wheel 2 ball bearings that are the same size, so you need 2 of those. And they cost €38.83 each. Of course you need 2, so that gives us €77.66. So again I bought the original Koyo Japan, same quality, and I paid for it. Pay attention now. One cost me €6.57. Of course I need 2, so that's €13.14. And now be ready. So that means that Kawasaki dealer is charging you for this exactly the same, just different color ball bearings, €64.52 more. It's shocking. Same quality. So that were the ball bearings. Now we have seals. We have 2 seals here. That's one. This one is going into the sprocket hub, and the other one goes on the other side of the rim It's covering one of those ball bearings. So I will start with the smaller one. Original Kawasaki cost €11.80. So I bought exactly the same. The only difference is this one is blue, but doesn't really matter. Exactly the same size, exactly the same quality, German made. And this one cost me €1.87, which means that your Kawasaki dealer is charging you for this ring, exactly the same ring, €9.93 more. And now we have this final seal, and I had difficulties to find this one because everybody had thicker ones. Nobody had this thin one, and finally I found one, and looks exactly the same. It's again German quality, and actually this one was even more expensive than the original one, so that's the only thing I paid more than I would pay by the Kawasaki dealer. And original seal oil cost €6.96. I paid for this one €10.56. So that's the only part I lost some money on it. But let me show you the total amounts of this money play game. So my Kawasaki dealer in the Netherlands, if I would order these parts there, so 5 ball bearings and 4 oil seals, will charge me €206.83. By buying all of these parts, so 5 ball bearings and 4 seals, in a specialized ball bearing shop here in Poland, I paid for that €50.91. That means that by the Kawasaki dealer I would pay €155.92 more for the same parts. So actually for the Kawasaki price, so €206.83 for one set of parts, I could buy in a specialized ball bearing shop 4 sets of these parts. And that means that the margin of Kawasaki dealer is around 300%. So you're basically paying 3 times more for the same parts that you can buy in a store or online. Of course, not all the parts you can buy in a store, and that goes about the parts that are made by Kawasaki. So for example, if you want to buy the front rim for Kawasaki Versys, you can buy it only by Kawasaki dealer because nobody else make these wheels. And then you will have to pay price for the Kawasaki. But the wearable parts that needs to be periodically changed, like ball bearings, you can always buy them in a regular ball bearing store or somewhere online, or you can order it. In any country, I'm sure you can find ball bearings much cheaper than by Kawasaki there. Is it gonna be 300% cheaper? Maybe not. Maybe it's gonna be only 100% cheaper. But even that is a lot, guys. So my advice, if you need to change the ball bearings, don't be stupid. Just order them in some regular ball bearing store or somewhere online. I guarantee they're gonna be at least 100% cheaper. And so with that very shocking but very positive news, I will end this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you like my channel, you can support me by clicking the super thanks button underneath the screen, or you can buy me a coffee. All the informations are in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and of course, see you in the next one. And of course, good luck with your parts shopping.